Aloha! I'm Hawaiian Dan with SeaEagle.com and welcome to the Sea Eagle Boats YouTube channel. This video is part 2 of a 3-part series entitled How Far Can You Go with the new Sea Eagle 437 paddle ski. Before we get started, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button in the lower left-hand corner and notification bell to be notified of new video releases. To hear about the latest sales and new product releases, be sure to subscribe to our email list by clicking on the link in the video description below. Now, in the last paddle ski video, we touched on rigging, and if you missed that video, don't worry, I'll place a link to it up here at the end of this video. Today, however, we're covering just how far you can go in distance with gas and electric motors, as well as some stand-up and sit-down paddling comparisons, plus some helpful bonus tips. Now, the number one key to successful fishing is finding fish. To find them, you need the ability to move efficiently from one spot to another, and the paddle ski more than fits the bill. Starting with the 1.5-liter internal built-in gas tank on day 1, I struck out at the first location and again at the second. But as you can see from the last video, we found an epic striped bass blitz at the third. Now, I fished that area thoroughly until the bite shut down, kept one for the table before heading to the tall ground, and here's how we did. As the sun began to set, the air temperature dropped and we called it a day, covering 8 miles round trip with a little fuel to spare and the Honda Fi's 1.5-liter internal built-in gas tank. The next day, we switched over to the 3-gallon external tank, took a run to our local tackle shop, and covered 14 miles round trip fishing for tog at various locations. The third day was the roughest of them all, laying the groundwork for our next video soon to be released, How Far Can You Go in Adverse Conditions with the new Sea Eagle 437 paddle ski. And to be honest with you, the nor'easter made it so rough and cold that I called it a wrap after that last session, covering 11 miles round trip with well over half the 3-gallon external fuel tank remaining, which brings us to our Honda 5 horsepower gas motor running distance results. At wide open with the way I had it rigged up, or with 2 people, I averaged just over 16 miles per gallon and 12 to 14 miles per hour depending on conditions. With 1 person, the Honda 5 and minimal gear, I averaged 20 miles per gallon and 15 to 16 miles per hour. So your total available running distance with the Honda 5 horsepower 1.5-liter internal built-in gas tank and 3-gallon external gas tank will yield roughly 50 to 70 plus miles running distance. Now that depends on your load, conditions, and throttle speed. At the low end, being able to run well over 50 miles, pack it in my compact vehicle, save on fuel, fish skinny or deep water, set it up in 20 minutes, rig it to the 9s, and have a stand-up paddleboard, kayak, and motorboat all in one. That's why I'm absolutely obsessed with the new Sea Eagle 437 paddle ski, and I'm certain that you will be too. If you'd like to see more of the paddle ski and other Sea Eagle products exclusively fished, rigged, and featured, be sure to check out and subscribe to my other channel, TalkFishTV.com, where I do some pretty outside-the-box stuff with my Sea Eagles. Now for the electric motor comparisons, runtime, and running distance. The Minn Kota Enduro 30, Water Snake Venom SX34, and Minn Kota Riptide 55 all tie with a top speed of 4 miles per hour with 1 person and 3 miles per hour with 2 people. The Water Snake Advanced Brushless 70 will yield 1 mile per hour more with a top speed of 5 miles per hour with 1 person and 4 miles per hour with 2 people. Now, the thing to keep in mind is at the time of this video, the majority of electric motors on the market have been designed traditionally for torque and not speed, with the exception of a few, which is why the top speed comparisons are fairly similar. Now, there are specific advantages to each motor, but I'll cover that in an electric motor comparison video to come. So be sure to click on the subscribe link in the lower left-hand corner and hit the notification bell so you're notified when that new video is released. To calculate what size battery you'll need, take the max amp draw of the electric motor that you're considering and multiply it by the number of hours you wish to run it. For example, the Minn Kota Enduro 30 has a max amp draw at full speed of 30 amps. So for 1 hour runtime, you'll want a minimum 30 amp H battery, which stands for amp hour. And for 2 hours one time, you're going to double that for a 60 minimum amp hour battery. Now, there are different kinds of batteries on the market, such as flooded gel, AGM, and lithium, and they all offer something different, range in price, and have different features. However, I'll also cover that in another video to come as well. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel by clicking on the link and the notification bell so you don't miss out on a single informative video. If you remember a few minutes back, I mentioned there are a few electric motors that are the exception to being designed for just torque, and the Torqeedo 1003 CL is one of them. While providing plenty enough torque, the Torqeedo will also provide you with speed. This electric motor is unique in that it's comparable to the power of a 3-horsepower gas engine, has a built-in removable battery, an LED display that tells you in live time how much battery power you have, how far you can go, your current speed, and the current power being drawn. These numbers are constantly updated in live time according to your usage, meaning at slower speeds you'll notice that you can go further, and at higher speeds which require more power, less distance. Now that's pretty incredible technology if you ask me. This brings us to paddling performance. Now keep in mind, the average electric motor yields a top speed of 3 to 4 miles per hour. I found that paddling the new PaddleSki in various conditions, whether standing up or sitting down, yields about the same 3 to 4 miles per hour. It's not a race boat by any means, but I found a nice leisurely paddle to be more than enjoyable. What's most impressive is the stability and the ability to immediately stand up at will to give you a better view. A great example is Kayak Cliff's video, where he gives a much better view of beautiful Florida manatees from a standing position.
I'm going to kill the engine and get up and do a little stand-up paddle boarding so we can see them a little bit.
If you missed it, I'll post a link to it in the video description below. To minimize yawing, it's best to use a high stroke or more vertical paddling stroke while keeping your paddle blades close to the sides of a PaddleSki. A sweep stroke to the leeward side opposite of the wind blowing will help to offset a crosswind, and having a motor and not having to paddle all the way back during a long session is a true bonus. Now for some bonus tips. Using the seat frame base in front of you as a foot brace will provide a paddling advantage. And if you're paddling solo and don't wish to take the extra seat, a 21-inch long section of 2.5-inch PVC pipe from your local hardware store will suit the trick nicely. In our next video, and the last and final part of this 3-part PaddleSki series, I'll cover how far you can go in reference to adverse conditions with the new Sea Eagle 437 PaddleSki. Now, if you find this video helpful and would like to see others like it, subscribe to the Sea Eagle Boats YouTube channel by clicking on the link in the lower left-hand corner. Be sure to hit the notification bell and thumbs up button and share it with your family and friends. To hear about the latest sales and new product releases, be sure to subscribe to our email list by clicking on the link in the video description below. Remember to post your comments and questions in the section below, and I'll post links to the PaddleSki and the optional accessories mentioned in this video in the video description below, as well as a timestamp table of contents so that you can jump from one section or topic of this video to another quickly. Until next time, I'm Hawaiian Dan with SeaEagle.com, and I'll see you out on the water. Aloha.